Alright you lot, how's it going? I just want to, before it gets too late, because I don't want to make too much noise, got to respect thy neighbours. But it was earlier on today I tried to take that S-Works buggy out, and I just wouldn't run with it. It seized up in the end. It kept seizing up, I kept unseizing it. A little bit of a story for you. Kept seizing up. It started originally, and it started the best it's ever started. It was lovely. Then it seized, unseized it, ran again, seized, didn't even get to drive it. It was a couple of minutes running, a couple of seconds running, sorry. And then it seized up completely, so I give up. Sat in the car and had to sleep, and then did what I had to do during the day. Come home, took it apart. If you've not seen that video, go back 1 or 2 videos and you'll see that video. Took it apart, managed to unseize it with a hammer. Got it unseized, put loads of oil in it, couldn't find anything wrong, really, couldn't find anything wrong. Put it back together, tried to start it, but my starter box battery ran out, so that was where that video ended. I'm just itching, man, I just get excited, you know, so I want to try and start it up today, now, to see if it is going to run. I've charged up the starter box battery, I've also charged up my glow starter. That took 182 minutes worth of charging, so it was a bit flat. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I thought you lot might want to see it, so I thought I'll quickly film it, make a small little video about it, and we'll see if it's going to run. So here we go. Oh, by the way, people have been commenting on these t-shirts. I didn't think anything of it. I had one ages ago. It's from Answer RC, obviously. You can see there, look, Answer RC. Yeah, nothing on the back. Had one ages ago. They sent me one for free to wear, and yeah, I managed to shrink it in the wash. You know, so I was walking around like that. I was walking around like that all the time. I was like, oh, bloody hell, so nobody see. Anyway, Mrs. gets the hump about me t-shirts. I've got holes in them and stuff. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'll buy some new t-shirts. And I could have gone down a local Matalan or somewhere and I got some made in China or something, but I thought, you know what, I'll get some of these ones from Answer, because it supports the model shop, one of the model shops that I like, doesn't it? I mean, these are reasonably cheap, you know, reasonably cheap. They are more a bit, but they're, you know, for what they are. I mean, these ones are Fruit of the Loom, which is all right. The other one was Gildan, that was a better brand, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm getting off topic. Thought I'd get some of these. Got 2 of them. And lovely. Yeah, I didn't even think nothing of it, but people keep commenting, love your t-shirt, and I'm like, what are you on about? Oh yeah. If you want one, go on Answer RC's website and you can get them on there. You can get hoodies and stuff as well. Pretty cool, man. You might as well, if you're going to buy some clothes from a model shop or some shop that you like, because then it supports that shop rather than buying something that comes from China, supporting bloody China. That's no good, is it? Right, anyway, I'm going to heat this up good and proper. Good and proper. Give it a good heat. It's definitely not seized up at the moment. It's free. It's on BDC. Bottom dead centre. Bottom of the stroke. There we go. And I must point out, by the way, I know that I know I'm a little bit slap happy sometimes. I'm fully aware of that. It's just the way I am. I can't help the way I am. But I don't always, well, I don't ever really, unless I think about it at the time and I'm right there, and I'll be like, oh, I'll just bring that down to BDC, you know, bring it out of the pinch, as you like to call it. You love the word pinch. You lot of bloody pinch lovers, I tell you. But with these engines, these racing engines, as people like to call them, racing engines, I do always bring them back down to the bottom of the stroke after they've run, because, you know, they're handmade and they're designed and they're built to quality. You know, it doesn't matter what brand you've got, Nova, Reds, Pico, whatever brand you pick. If it's a high tolerance engine and all that kind of bollocks, you do need to sort of treat it a little bit differently. It's the same with any racing engine, whether it's for a car, a motorbike, a Nitro, it doesn't matter. They're a different breed, really. And I know that I'm a bit slap happy and I'm just like, don't worry about things, but the reality is with these engines I do care for them more than I would do, you know, one of the other ones, like a Pro 28 for example, or something like that, you know. I do that, so yeah, just thought I'd point that out, because I would imagine there's going to be loads of comments saying, well, you don't look after them, you don't bring them out of the pinch, and you don't do this and you don't do that. No wonder it breaks. So I thought I'd better point them things out. The video that I've done this morning hasn't even gone live yet, so don't know. That should be live later on today, or maybe, I'm not really sure. I don't know when I'm going to put that up yet. Anyway, let's warm this up and see if she's going to work. Right, that thing should be roasting now. I forgot to get the old train. I wasn't going to turn the radio gear on, actually, to be honest, but might as well, as soon as we're here. Right. That's boiling inside there, I'll tell you that now. Right, here we go. Oh, I'll turn that on. Right. Can you hear it boiling inside? Listen. It's boiling. Bloody thing's stuck again. Right, here we go. Here we go. It's gonna go this time. It's gonna fire. I can feel it. Ah, stuck. Oh. The light bulb up there is just got two 240 wires attached to it. It hasn't actually got a light bulb holder, so I've just attached a 240 wire that end and a negative that end. So every now and again I touch it with a can or something, because the shelf's just below it, and it knocks the wire off, so I have to put the wire back on. Let's just go hell for leather now. Bit of penetrating fluid in there. Let that penetrate. Might unseize it. I don't know why it keeps seizing up. I mean, that sleeve looked alright, so we never know, man. I can always take it apart again. I just wanted to quickly have a look. Right, we've got it unseized. Let's wang it over with no glow plug in it. It won't even go over with no glow plug in it. Oh, piss off, you stupid starter. I hate starter boxes. I mean, they're probably one of the most worst inventions ever invented. Right, that's enough winding up the Nitro know-it-alls, as I like to call them. Let's actually build up this engine properly now then. So what I've done is I've taken apart the block as much as I can. I can't get the rear bearing out because I haven't got the proper tool anymore. All I've got is this Fast Tracks one, which is rubbish, absolute rubbish. Don't buy it. Don't buy the Fast Tracks bearing removal tool. There's a little bit of weirdness with this bearing. I'd like to take it out, and I'd like ideally to put a new one in, but I can't afford a new one and I can't get this one out. So until I buy the right tool, I could heat up the engine, heat up the block, get it out that way, but it's good enough. What I've done is I've cleaned it out with brake cleaner to get any of the metal out. Someone said just because there's metal from the piston doesn't mean that there's gonna be metal in the bottom of the engine. Complete and utter rubbish, especially on a two-stroke engine, because don't forget it goes everywhere, so it's gonna be going around the bearing. Someone said the bearing's broken up. I don't think it has. the metal is 100% from the piston, because that gudgeon pin clip came out, and that was what all the metal was. Anyway, doesn't matter. So let's put this other bearing. This is the front bearing. I've also cleaned this. It's perfect. We'll put this in using the tool to whacker that in. What it has got, it's all right. I mean, it's not an awful tool. It's just not any good. I mean, it's meant to be for 21 engines, but I've never found a 21 engine that it actually fits on the rear bearing. And the instructions is terrible as well, so you have to kind of work it out for yourself. But I've never found yet. I've not found yet an actual 21 engine where this actually works. I thought I pressed record on that, my mistake, but I didn't. But anyway, I don't know if that's the way you meant to do it, but I was just doing it like that. It taps it in. So then, anyway, at least that's in. I'm going to have to save up and get the proper hoodie tool to do these bearings properly, because this one isn't good. Not impressed with it, not happy with it. I haven't been now since I bought it months and months and months ago to try and replace the other one. But then again, it is only 30 quid, you know, so what do you expect? What do you expect? Anyway, so bearings are now in. Now let's have a look what we've got here. We've got a new piston and a new liner and a new conrod. They come as a kit. The engine part is 08. Well, just read it there for yourself. That's what that is there. Nova engines. How's that come on? Is that stuck on there? Give it a little slip with a knife. Now these are the Evo ones. Now the difference, as far as I know, so I'm told, is these are already pre-assembled, by the way. So you haven't got to worry about putting any clips in, any pins, no, nothing. It's already assembled. Now the difference between the new Evo piston and the old piston, because don't forget this B3 is a first generation B3. It's an early one, which is why it had a load of pinch, it had a load of compression. The newer ones, they haven't got that. They haven't got a load of pinch, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a minute. So there we go. Oops. The differences between the pistons, there's not a lot really. I mean, they're the same, more or less the same sort of pistons. The conrods are different. No, they're not. They're the same. Just this one's put the other way around than that one. Oh no, that one, the old one's got a line both sides. The new one's only got a line one side, and on the other side there is no line. But I think other than that, everything is exactly the same. The differences between the old one and the newer Evo ones, which are completely compatible with all the engines, by the way, is underneath the exhaust port there's now an extra little cooling port, and that's to keep the exhaust temperatures down, but also it does help a little bit with efficiency as well. So we've got the new Evo one, B3 Evo there, the older early one, first generation, but that, as far as I'm aware, is the only difference. There's a small price increase, but that is what it is. It is what it is. So let's take out these head bolts. I've got a couple of new O-rings as well. I've got two of them just in case. The original one was red, but the new ones that I bought from Haggard RC are black for some reason. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's lubricate this up as much as we can. Got a load of after run oil here. Let's stick a load of oil under there. Whenever you're building an engine, it's always good. Just lube it. Oh, I haven't got a crank in yet, have I? Bloody hell, getting ahead of myself here. Just lube everything up. Yeah, you can never have too much oil. Just oil everything. And just put loads of it on, you know. You can never have too much of it. Just keep oiling everything. And you'll be absolutely mint. Loads of oil in there. It's going to go everywhere, but what do you expect? Oh, by the way, I thought I'd show you that this is the button. I've given it a bit of a clean up. I've got a little bit of damage happened on there. That was from the bits of metal that come from the clip, or both the clips perhaps, that hold in the gudgeon pin. And they were going up and down there and hitting on that button, which has done a bit of damage there. But I'm not worried about that. That'll be absolutely fine. This is not going to cause any trouble whatsoever. I know some of you might probably say, well, you know, this and that and whatever, but I'm not going to bother with spending any money on a new one, because if I got all the parts that potentially I needed for this, I could just as well buy a brand new engine, and I'm certainly not doing that. So I'm just going bare minimum on the parts. Which was a piston and a liner, and that's the bare minimum parts I need to get this running, and that is that's all I need. So that's what we're going for. Let's put these bolts back in. And then, once we've got these bolts in, all we've got to do is put the clutch on, and the clutch bell, and the carb. Yeah, and then we're ready for the first run, the first fire up. Happy days, happy days. I wanted to get this engine built up, ready to run for the weekend, but I've run out of time now. Quite late at night. What is it, 10 past 10 in the evening now, but I've got most of it put back together. I'm just going to put the clutch, the carb and all of that on probably tomorrow, and then we can give it its actual first run up again. Hopefully it'll be alright. It's not supposed to have as much pinch. I remember when I got the B5R Evo, I remember saying there's nowhere near as much pinch as there is with the B3. I wonder why that is. Well, now I've learned it's because with the Evos there's less mechanical pinch, is what they call it. So it just makes it easier to start and just makes it easier in general. So you've got the cooling port underneath the exhaust port, which this is the old one, but you've got a cooling port under it, and you've also got less pinch, which doesn't mean less performance. It just means it's easier to start. Anyway, if you need any parts it could be for any engine, for a Reds, for OS, for Nova, you need to go to Haggard RC. This is not sponsored by them at all, but I just really like their brand, really like their shop, and they're really helpful people. And if you want to get into racing or you want to do anything like that, just give them a ring and they'll help you out, and they'll tell you everything you need, and they'll sell you everything you need as well. You don't have to go nowhere else. Really good shop. So there we go. the next time we see this B3, it'll be back in the S-Works S35, and we'll be hopefully running it in. We'll be running it in, because I've got to do that again now, obviously, and then we'll be driving it and seeing how it is with the fresh rebuild. Nice. Thanks for watching, you lot. Remember, treat people nicely. Treat people how you want to be treated. And a lot of the time you'll find, if you treat people nicely, how you want to be treated, they'll turn around and do the same to you. So, there we go. Might solve a lot of problems. I'll see you later on. All the best. Thanks for watching.